From the creators of Young Ronaldo, the most watched soccer series ever on YouTube with over 65 million views, now bringing you a podcast so antiviral, even we might forget to listen to it.
1-900. You'll wish you never called.
1-900.
1-900. Featuring Sister Sharon.
Wow. Did you put that opening together yourself?
Yeah, I sure did.
That is incredible.
Thanks.
I think it's too good for what this is going to be about. I think it's a very misleading start.
Pro. I did a pro job.
Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, let's set this up, man. Okay, first of all, I want to welcome you to the first edition of 1-900 Soccer Bros. We've had a lot of back and forth over the name, and it may change, but for now, for today, for this episode, it's 1-900 Soccer Bros. Anyway, I want to welcome you. I'm one of your hosts, Marc Segal. I'm here with my brother, Jared, and Sister Sharon.
Sister Sharon.
Well, listen, I think we should just get into it, but I guess we each have a role to play. I'm the dry-witted performance psychology guru who's used to working with the best of the best, right? / powerful, wealthy, important athletes, teams, organizations, business leaders, military.
You're the responsible brother.
Yeah, okay, right. And you are the creative, renegade, tattooed, long-haired soccer disruptor.
That's good. That's very good.
Who runs a virtual soccer school. And together we probably represent two different poles of and approaches to all kinds of things. The classic dynamic, right, between the more disciplined and the chaotic, right?
Like we're kind of yin and yang, or ebony and ivory.
Like Mork and Mindy.
Mork and Mindy. I'm like Elton John, and you're like my Bernie Tobin.
Sherlock and Watson.
Yeah, or like Woody and Buzz, like
Frasier, Niles,
Lennon and McCartney.
Which one am I?
I don't know. I'm clearly Lennon.
You think I'm McCartney?
Yeah. You're definitely McCartney.
Like Han Solo and Luke Skywalker.
Shrek and Donkey.
Perfect. How about Calvin and Hobbes? Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, I love that one. Nice. Epstein and Diddy.
That's terrible. Maverick and Iceman.
Paige and Plant.
Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. Sam and Diane from Cheers. Gomez and Fester. Wayne and Garth.
Good. You're on a roll.
How about The Rock and Kevin Hart?
Laverne and Shirley.
Spock and Kirk.
Pink Panther and Inspector Clouseau.
Larry David, Jeff Green from Curb.
I love that. Oh, Tom and Jerry.
Adam and Eve. Well, anyway, I think people get the idea. And we're here with Sister Sharon.
Sister Sharon.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Wow.
Y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all does. Okay.
And she's from Brooklyn. And that's how she decided to do her intro.
My role here is the archetypal soccer mom, knee-deep in the youth sports industrial complex with two boys who play club soccer, both of whom take it too seriously. And I'm looking around, I'm in this system, and I'm participating in it because I want to support my kids, but I wonder what's really going on.
But Sharon, don't undersell yourself also. Like, you're not just a soccer mom, like pretty experienced executives. You'll be a great mediator.
She did say y'all. That kind of set her up in a weird way.
But she doesn't say y'all. Yeah.
I think this show could be kind of useful to people like me who are in this system and are really questioning it and wondering if there's a better way.
It's really just hanging out with us in our unfiltered, unvarnished, and our stupidity. But I think the hope is that if you can have the fortitude and patience to get through what I think will be borderline audio torture, I think that there's something that you'll get from this. We're going to have guests, but I think the most important thing to know is that this is your opportunity to be a kind of voyeur, like a friend of ours, someone that gets to listen to our private conversations and listen to and absorb the things that we talk about, both entertaining and educational.
Even if this is for one listener, even if it's quote unquote antiviral, I think that one listener wants to know why. Why are they here?
The current system, otherwise known as kind of pay to play, oftentimes is like lowest common denominator. Coach to player ratio is poor. Decision making oftentimes is less optimized for the individual player. That parents are oftentimes kept out of the process, and a whole host of other problems that is just kind of suboptimal for development of players, and at the same time maybe even the maximal enjoyment for players and parents alike. What else would you add to that?
I think we can both agree on this. right? I think if you're a player and you're playing at a reasonable level, let's just say ECNL, and you are not the golden child on your team, you're not number 1 or number 2, you can pretty much forget about real development. Unless you are that one player that's getting all the minutes, all the attention, you are not going to jump levels. Is that fair to say?
I don't want to nitpick, I think. I mean, there's 11 kids that get to play. So you've got 11 starters. I mean, I think generally speaking, I agree with you. Insofar as, for the most part, there are very few kids on a club team that are prioritized, and that has different kinds of implications. So we can
Sure.
leave it.
All of this ends up coming down to dollars and cents. This is just down to economics. It doesn't matter where you go. This is the problem with youth soccer.
What you're saying is that generally speaking, there's only so much attention to go around, and whether you're a ECNL club in the States or a Prem Academy, that generally speaking, they focus their attention on just a few of what they consider to be the highest potential individuals. And the problem is that these people are oftentimes very experienced and smart, but the idea that you can tell at a young age who's going to make it and who's not is not true. And therefore, the investment in time and attention, in some ways, quite unfair for kids that may not be the shiny object. Okay.
I've actually been told by academy coaches, off the record, of course, that, the rest of these players that are not the shiny objects are really just there to be used to get the 1 or 2 good players better.
Yeah. I think that's true. I don't think that quite holds true in the States. I mean, we can get into the differences in our pay-to-play system and the academy system. And the truth is that all of them have problems. But I think your kind of main point is simply that there is a lot of talent out there, and a lot of these kids and parents deserve to have a different kind of attention.
It's really hard for parents that are in that camp of kids that are not the shiny objects. It's really hard. And those are a lot of the parents that I think you and we come in contact with those parents all the time. These kids are also potentially really talented. And, we can talk all day about, can you really recognize and spot talent from super early ages, right? And that's a whole other podcast. These other players deserve attention.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we agree, and I think our listener would agree also to that. So what?
Yeah.
Somebody needs to explain when you're saying the youth industrial sports what the hell that is.
Well, sometimes people just call it the sport industrial complex, but I really like the YSIC, Youth Sports Industrial Complex. And I thought it was coined by Michael Lewis, the incredible author of Moneyball. He's famous. I mean, his books are famous. Anyway, the point is there are a handful of sports, soccer, women's volleyball, women's softball. I think even basketball now belongs in this club where, billions of dollars are being made off of the club fees, the pay-to-play tournament, the hotels. It's just staggering. Why are we doing this? Why are we part of this system? And, of course, it's all driving, a lot of single sport specialization at very early ages. From my perspective, I happen to be raised in a family of professional and Olympic athletes with a lot of different sports, people who had world records, Olympic records, and nobody went down a path like this. It does deserve to be looked at with some skepticism. Also, if you just zoom out and look at American soccer and how it's not really the best in the world, but maybe we're spending the most money on it.
So what typically happens is the club soccer parent gets really frustrated and angry because they believe they're paying for a service and their player should be treated with equal value for what they're paying for. Your player should be playing. Your player should be developing. Your player should be getting equal attention.
Yep.
And when that doesn't go that way, that's when the shit hits the fan.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say that, generally speaking, as a general proposition, parents are, I think, dissatisfied with the value that they're getting, oftentimes in club environments. Oftentimes these teams are carrying way more kids that can ever reasonably play. That's a bigger problem. And as the kids get older, it's even worse. If you're on a team and there are 24 kids on the team, which of course the economics would incentivize, right? More kids equals more money. The problem is 11 spots for a starter. And in some cases, some of these kids aren't even getting rostered. So that's going to naturally lead to pretty high dissatisfaction rates. And I think a lot of the game that clubs, coaches, directors have to play is like, how do you keep everybody happy in an environment where arguably everybody wants very similar things? Like, is there like some light that we can shed, some insight that we can provide that might be a little bit different than what you might normally have come across? Because there are so many of these difficult and complicated and nuanced situations that occur. And it's everything from like, how do you talk to a player in various situations, like after a bad game, before an important game, after an injury? How do you ask questions of coaches? How do you get information without pissing coaches off?
I mean, I feel like there's always a playing time thing to navigate with these coaches. And as a parent, it can be really like messy and confusing to understand, like how to navigate it. Do you address it? Do you not address it? Do you let your kid try to handle it? Okay. So, I mean, that could be helpful. I don't know if you guys have opinions on that.
What if we role play? My brother and I can act out certain scenarios that happen all the time in the YSIC, right?
I love this idea. And it could help parents. It could help our listener get an inside scoop on like what's really going on.
Let's try it. So do you want to be the coach or the parent?
What do you think?
I think you should be the coach. I think that'll be more interesting.
Oh, really? I was thinking exactly the opposite. Okay.
Oh, really?
All right, I'll be the coach. I'll be the coach. That's
okay. All right. So, I'm the parent.
And you're calling me.
Yep.
And you're calling me.
I'm calling you.
So you've taken a day off work. You've stayed at the team hotel. You've spent money. You've endured a couple team dinners. And you've also endured the embarrassment of your child sitting on the sideline much more than you would hope. During this time, and then you drove back. You drove all the way back.
Yeah, and I'm pissed.
Yep. Go.
Yep. Okay.
And furthermore, you normally would have said something to me, the coach, earlier, but you didn't, and you didn't because it would violate the club's policy.
Yep, the 24-hour
policy is that there's a what they call a cooling off period.
Yeah,
so you are not allowed to address anything.
Yep.
Until after the 24-hour period is elapsed. So we're post 24 hours.
Yep.
You're back home. You've been seething. You've been seething for a while, and now it's time to talk to the coach.
And you're going to be Coach Carmichael. I just like that.
Carmichael.
Yeah.
Is that my last name?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Got it?
What's my first name?
Chris.
How about Michael?
Yeah, Michael.
Okay. I'm Michael Carmichael.
How about Fast?
Call me Mike.
Your first name is Fast.
Fast Carmichael?
Yeah.
Fast car. You got a fast car, Michael. Yep. Okay. I don't know if our listener's familiar with...
Listener.
I said listener.
Okay.
Is familiar with the work of Chris Voss, Voss. But he has written a really phenomenal book called Never Split the Difference. And he's a former FBI hostage negotiator. And
I've seen him. He did a master class.
Yes, he absolutely did.
Yeah. I love this guy.
This guy's great. And he does a lot of this kind of role playing, which is huge pressure for people that are kind of learning and trying to master his process. And he does this thing where it's kind of this hostage, you've got like 2 minutes to save the hostages. Yeah. And the conceit, like the way it happens is he has this approach where like the clock starts ticking and you've got like X amount of time to save the hostages. And it's pretty stress inducing, but he always starts out in the following way. He says, ring, ring. And that's kind of that's the cue to pick up the phone to start the negotiation. So I think we should borrow that.
Well, we're stealing it if we do that.
Stealing it.
Okay. All right. I'm cool. All right. So are you ready?
I am. Everyone's ready.
Okay. Ring, ring. You know what? I just realized the ring, ring thing is like in Rocky. Didn't Rocky do that? Ring, or is it ding, ding?
That's the bell. That's the bell that gets rung before every professional boxing match.
I know, but remember in Rocky it says ding, ding. Like there was that moment.
Oh no, I don't remember that at all.
Keep punching, Apollo. Want to ring the bell? Ding, ding.
All right, ready? Ring, ring.
Sorry, where am I from?
Man, listener, if you're listening.
The whole thing.
Yeah, listener, if you're listening, like my brother has a unique ability to pull up the most random accents from all over the globe. But the first thing that came to my mind is your Scottish has been so good lately.
Yeah, but I just don't want to do it and then like inadvertently offend. For the first one, let's play it straight.
All right.
Straight.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I might take on an American dialect. I can't decide.
All right, ready?
Okay. All right. Yeah.
All right.
I got
Ring,
okay.
ring.
Hello.
What is that? Are you from India?
I know. It was kind of no. It was kind of New York.
Okay, remember you're California.
Give me a chance to really.
All right, here we go.
Oh, that's true.
Ready?
This is California. Okay, I'm just gonna be me.
All right.
Okay.
Ding, ding.
Hello.
Hey, Coach Carmichael. It is. Oh shit! I didn't even know who I am.
This is going to be the most annoying thing. Everyone's like, I can't wait for this to start. This is going to be really helpful, and it never actually happens.
Yeah. Okay. I got it. I had to.
Ding, ding.
Yep. This is Coach Carmichael.
Hey, Coach Carmichael. It is Phil. How are you?
Hey, Phil.
Phil, I'm Bryce's dad. How you doing?
Bryce. Oh, hey. How are you, Phil? How are you?
I'm good. Hey, did I catch you at a good time?
Different. Yeah. No, this is good. I've got a couple different Brysons. I'm coaching 7 different teams, and I actually have nine Brysons. 2 of them are spelled with Y, 1 with an I. Sorry. Okay.
Are you laughing?
I cracked myself up. Sorry. I was out of character. I was out of character. We got to restart.
Okay, here we go. All right. Ring.
7. Okay, this would be harder than I thought. Okay.
Hello. Ring.
Hello.
Hey, Coach Carmichael. It's Phil, Bryson's dad.
Hey, Phil. How are you?
Good. Do you know who I am?
We just sat down. Yeah. I just sat down to dinner.
Oh, okay.
Would it be anything urgent, or would it be possible if I called you back?
No, I don't want to. No. I mean, really, this will only take 5 minutes. I don't know if you can spare 5.
Literally, we just put the Hot Pockets on the table.
Hot Pockets.
So I can call you, but I'll call you back as soon as I'm done. I've got a couple other calls I've got to make. Is that okay?
I suppose this will only take a second.
Great. Okay. Well, Phil, I'll give you a shout.
The weekend.
I'll give you a shout soon. Okay. Take care. Say hey to Bryson. Hey, he did great this weekend, by the way. I know we didn't get to play him a lot, but I thought he was great. He was really
that's what I was gonna
supportive.
I was gonna bring that up.
Okay. Well, I'll give you a shout
That's
as soon
the
as I
playing
can.
time.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Parking was expensive. Man, that did not go the way that I expected at all.
Nope. I thought you.
Of all the scenarios that I had played out in my head,
I threw that out. They just came to me.
Oh my God!
Good, right?
Never thought the Hot Pocket.
Yeah.
Was good.
Yeah.
Never.
It happens though. It happens.
The Hot Pocket exit.
It's the dinner deflection. It's a strategy. It happens, and you got to be prepared for it. I thought you did okay.
Man, I was really taken aback.
Yeah, but I managed to. I got in a couple compliments.
Yeah,
and I showed a kind of awareness that we wanted to play Bryson a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So I get pretty high marks, I think, for that. You want to do another one?
Yeah. Let's run that one back, as the kids say. All right, you ready?
I just want to say I'm really enjoying this.
Okay. Yeah, me too. All right, ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Ding, ding.
Hey, this is Coach Carmichael.
Hey,
I'm not available to take the call right now, but if you leave me a message, I'll be happy to get back to you as soon as possible.
Oh my God! Good one. I love that one.
Good, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I'm really loving this. This is so good.
Wow.
This is so good. Nobody else is going to enjoy this, but I'm going to love hearing this.
No, this is good.
Yeah. Feel good about this. Okay.
All right. Are you ready? All right.
Okay.
Here we go. Ready?
Ding, ding.
Ring.
Coach Carmichael.
Coach, it is Phil, Bryson's dad. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you, Phil?
I'm good. Did I catch you at a good time?
Yeah. I'm returning a bunch of calls. We've got tryouts for the under 5s, and I'm the coordinator for the youth. But yeah, no, good.
Cool.
I've got as much time as you need.
I'm totally not typical club soccer dad and stuff. And this is probably the first conversation we've ever had, like, off the field. And man, it took me some courage to give you a buzz. But man, I got to get something off my chest. And if I don't, I think my wife is gonna, she's gonna serve me papers probably, because it's been pretty frustrating.
Everything's going with Linda. You guys, do you sit separately at the games? I don't know. I'm just sensing. And Bryson. That's
not really why I'm not really wanting to talk about Linda. I'm really
Bryson just hasn't been himself lately, and I wasn't sure. I was going to reach out. I don't know if there's some stuff at home. I usually don't probe into that, but
that's not really why I'm
Bryson hasn't been able
more
to
about the playing time situation.
Sorry, I was just going to say.
No, she's good.
That
Linda's fine.
Bryson hasn't been himself. I've been trying to get him into the games. He just hasn't really been, focused. Actually, and so I don't know if there's something going on.
He's been fine
at the house.
Over here. No, he's good.
Mm-hmm.
Coach. I got completely mind melted there. Just all of a sudden, it became a Dr. Phil episode.
This Carmichael guy is good. He is very good. He's very good.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. What I'm worried about is that this is going to be more educational for the coaches.
Yeah, true.
We were undermining. This is going to backfire completely.
Yeah.
Hey, Jimmy, did you listen to the Cigar Brothers? Great stuff there. I got about 3 different ideas. Did you get to the Hot Pockets? Great. Brilliant.
Okay, this one, we're going to go distance for those. All right, here we go. I'm ready. I'm in character now. All right, I'm feeling this one. Neither of us have any professional acting or improv experience.
No, but very good.
Yeah, okay.
Ding, ding.
Hey, it's Coach Carmichael.
Coach, hey, it is Phil, Bryson's dad. How are you, man?
Good. How are you doing, Phil?
I'm good. I'm okay. Listen, do you have 5 minutes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. So, man, I'm a little bummed out. First of all, congratulations on winning the showcase. That's pretty awesome.
We take showcases pretty seriously, so felt pretty good about. Pretty good. And by the way, I don't know if you're calling about Bryson about the playing time.
I am actually. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be happy to talk to you about that.
Yeah, cool. No, I appreciate that. So listen, Linda and I, we're kind of scratching our head. Obviously, like I know everybody's driving the 6+ hours, and we pay for the hotel and. All the meals with the team. And listen, like, we love all that stuff. And Bryson's got a lot of good friends on this team, and he's known these kids forever. But I got to say, like, he only played in, like, the 3 games he played. We actually were keeping track. We never usually do. But he played 17 minutes in 3 games. And we're like, what is going on?
You guys are actually tracking the minutes.
Well, I only did. I only did.
You're literally tracking every single minute he's out on the field.
I only did because he didn't play at all the first game, and so when
the first game was, just to be clear, the first game was against Strikers.
Yeah, I know. I know that's Strikers a good team, but listen, Bryson was playing like at least half the minutes earlier in the season, and he's super confused, honestly, Coach, about what happened to his minutes. And I know, listen, not to cut you off, I'm a business guy. Trust me, I get the economics that goes on with club soccer, and but God, you guys were carrying 18 players during the season, and then you took on another 4. And
that's true. We did have a couple injuries, if you remember. Mm-hmm. Remember Max?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the ACL.
Max had a concussion. ACL, right? Max had an ACL.
ACL concussion. Mm-hmm.
You both, to be fair. It was a pretty brutal collision. But anyway,
honestly, Coach, if Bryson knew I was talking with you, he would have a freak out. Okay. And Linda's actually here in the room, and Bryson's doing his homework. But listen, if you can just help me understand, why he's not playing, that way I can convey this. I mean, better yet, it would be great if you could actually convey this to him, and maybe help him understand.
Right.
But he's super depressed.
Well, all right. Listen, first of all, thanks. I appreciate you bringing this to my attention, and in a pretty professional way. I get a lot of this, as you can imagine. Well, first of all, as a general policy, I try not to communicate with the players. So I try as best I can to leave them guessing, if that makes sense, to basically interpret based on things like body language, sarcastic comments, and playing time, my general level of satisfaction with not just them as players, but also as individuals. And I kind of leave it to them and their imagination to draw some kind of conclusion as to how I might be making my decisions or the general level of likability any particular player might have. So, in my mind. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we're trying to win games. This, as you know, this was a showcase, okay? And so showcase, by definition, is an opportunity for the best kids to be seen at the highest level so that they have some opportunities to potentially, get a scholarship and it's never too early. I know these kids are barely freshmen, but, it's never too early. And I know, and before you say it, I also know there were no college scouts there at all. But that, to me, that's not the point. The point is to prepare them for when they are, if and when that happens. And also, we took a couple guest players. So in addition to the 18, we had a couple other players. So we weren't even able to roster everybody. And so, the fact that Bryson was rostered for all 3 games, in my mind, it should be an indication, although not particularly explicit. It should be an indication that he is one of the top 18 players, in my mind. And we had a couple players, I don't know if you know this, but we had a couple guest players that didn't play at all.
We actually gave one of them a ride home.
Right. Donovan did not play at all. And this was a pretty big reach for his parents.
No,
right?
I know. Well,
so,
they couldn't even come. We had to pay.
No. And I think they did a fundraiser. So all this to say, I think if you take everything in context, I'm a big believer in Bryson, and we wouldn't want him to leave if that's part of what's going on here. I think you will find that the grass is not greener on other clubs and other environments. And if it makes you feel better, I would be happy, in the coming games, I will do my best to see if I can get Bryson some more playing time. If that's all it takes, is really, if the reason you're calling is that you have decided that it's all about playing time and kind of not about some of the other things, then you have my word. I will try to pay a bit more attention and see if I can get him into the game a little more.
Man, Coach, I can't thank you enough. And I'm speaking for Linda here. She's.
Are you guys doing okay? Are the two of you doing okay? I know it's a little, maybe a little presumptuous of me as a question. I just got this weird feeling that Bryson hasn't been himself lately, and I guess I was just curious. And don't take this the wrong way, but it feels like, how much pressure are you putting on Bryson? He just seems to be just not as relaxed.
I just want to go back to the point.
He's always looking over.
Yeah, I just want to go back to the playing time thing.
To the sideline.
If you don't mind. So the time that he was on the field, how did you think his performance was? Do you think that he should have, or that he actually earned more minutes with you?
I'll be totally honest. I wasn't really paying attention.
It didn't seem like you were.
I wasn't even looking. In fact, there were a couple times I heard he scored. Did he score in that second game?
Yeah, he scored the bicycle kick.
The winner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wasn't. I had turned around and then I saw everybody going to the corner. Listen, my bad. I should have asked who scored. Fair enough.
Linda, she was super mad that you subbed him out right after the bicycle goal.
Well, I didn't. I'm sorry. I mean, I should have asked if he scored, and I didn't. And I was just going by. I had put him in explicitly. I was going to give him 7 minutes that game, and then we were going to end with 10 minutes the last game. And so I was just kind of going off of. Listen.
Yeah, but do you really think putting him in goal for the last 10 minutes really?
I mean, the third game
quantifies as playing time.
I don't want to get into this with you. I just think it's good to rotate the kids around.
Coach, he's never played goalie.
Rotate the kids.
Ever. He's never ever. He doesn't even.
Well,
own
I understand that
from Ramon. He's not a goalkeeper.
I thought he did fine. He let the first one anybody could have let in. The second one we can talk about. But I want the kids experiencing different positions. He hadn't played goal. That was precisely my reasoning. Is that he was completely unfamiliar with the position, and I wanted to see how he would react to being just thrown in. So I don't know. That's just in my experience. It's good to see how the kids react to new and novel situations.
Hey, Coach, hold on.
It gives me a lot of information.
Hey, Bryce. What's up, bud? Yeah, I got Coach. Coach on phone. Hey, Coach. Bryson. How you doing?
Bryson. How are you, bud? How are you, pal?
I'm okay. Just a lot of homework. What are you guys talking about?
I would just say to you, Bryson, I would for sure focus on those grades. Because that's...
Why, though? Why?
Well, it's nothing specific to your soccer. I would just say, excuse me, generally speaking, that you always want to have a fallback.
Okay.
So
cool.
Hey, Bryson, could you put your dad back on?
Yep. See you at training tonight, Coach.
Yep. We'll see you there, Bryson.
Okay. Hey, Coach, appreciate that, man. His face is pretty lit up. He's pretty excited now. So. Nope.
Okay.
This Coach Carmichael, this guy is really, Yep.
He's good.
I thought throwing Bryson in there as a curveball was going to get you, but nope.
No. Nope. He knows that. He knows this. Yeah. We could do a lot more of these, but is there any takeaways from this? I mean, this was pretty tongue in cheek. This is much less serious. I think we should try to do a real one. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Okay. Let's play this one totally real. Okay. You give what the real advice would be.
Okay.
Okay. And I think this will be the take that potentially helps the listener.
Okay. All right. Let's do it. Go.
Okay. Ready?
Ding, ding.
Hello.
Coach Carmichael, it's Phil. I'm Bryson's dad.
Hey, Phil. How are you?
I'm good. You got 5 minutes?
Yep, absolutely. What do you got?
I didn't want to talk to you at the field because of the whole 24-hour cooling down, whatever that thing is. So Linda and I wanted to be sensitive to that. But we just wanted to pick your brain a little bit about why Bryson played the minutes he did. He only played 17 minutes in the 3 games, and we're trying to find ways to answer questions for him. He's super confused, as are we. But I'm just hoping you can give us a couple answers so we can maybe relay that on to him, or even better, like would you potentially have a chat with him about any of this?
Yeah, sure. No. I appreciate you calling. First of all, I'm a big fan of Bryson's. He is a great kid. And a really good addition to the team. I know he didn't get enough playing time. There were a lot of, and frankly, not that you care that much, but a lot of the kids just get enough playing time. And it was just honestly like a combination of things. One is because it was Showcase, there was a fair amount of pressure to keep some of the kids on the field. That was one thing. We had some injuries, and that kind of changed how I was thinking about how I wanted to set up. And, I've tried to talk to Bryson about this, but his confidence just hasn't been great lately. And frankly, there was a part of me that was just feeling like he was just going to be a bit more comfortable, not being as central, and not on the field as much. Maybe I have that wrong, but he seemed a little bit off the last couple of weeks. As you know, I do try to reward the kids for their performance in the trainings, and I have no doubt that he'll kind of get it back. But it was something I actually meant to maybe bring up to you and Linda at some point. So I'm not sure if you have any thoughts about that. But I do apologize. I know how hard that is.
No, yeah, I know. And I know that you're coaching. How many groups are you coaching now?
I was filling in for Coach Johnny, and so I had his 16. So I had 3. I was moving around. I had 3 different teams.
Well, listen, we're more well off than a lot of the kids on the team, right? As you know, Coach, and we've hosted a lot of team parties and fundraisers for the team, and not to say that we do these things because we want different treatment for our son, but we drove 6 hours, and to get 17 minutes, I'm always thinking about opportunity costs. He's got a private coach here in San Diego. Would it have been better for him to?
Who's he working with?
Paul Rudd,
the actor. Oh my God, we were doing so good.
We can continue. We can cut this out.
Okay, cut that.
Yeah. So listen, Linda and I, we're always thinking about opportunity costs and would it have been better to stay behind, given how many players that you took, and he's got a private coach. I don't know if you know Paul Weber, and so he could have done some private training, got lots of reps, and instead we kind of felt like we kind of burned a weekend in Arizona. And he just didn't play very much. Right.
No, listen, I get it. I'm a parent too, as you know, so I'm really trying to be super sensitive to these kinds of things. And I think, when you start to think about ROI, you've got on one hand, the commitment to a team. I think the kids really had a good time. They had a lot of fun in the pool, and I think that overall it was a really good bonding experience. And so the way that I look at these things is it's really not just about the time on the field, but overall, the overall experience for the kids. And I like to think that we've created a really...
I get it, Coach. I get it. But this was a college showcase. He wants to play college soccer. And the optics of him only being on the field for 17 minutes, you know where I'm going with this.
Oh no, totally. But just for what it's worth, and I've been coaching for almost 60 years now. If you add up all the different teams I've worked with, I've been coaching for maybe 5 years. But anyway, you understand. I think because of his age, he's going to get a lot of cracks at this. You know what I mean? There are a lot of showcases in Bryson's future. Trust me, we're already looking at calendar for next year, and there's probably 5 showcases just next year. Increasingly, these are things that we're going to be doing. So I guess I would just say, don't catastrophize on this one. Don't focus on this one thing. Just the more you can kind of focus on the bigger picture and the overall kind of ROI, I think the better off you'll be. So I hope that.
No, I appreciate that. I mean, do you think you could have a conversation with him, and maybe just in the future, a conversation with us before, a tournament weekend or a showcase weekend, just letting us know, hey, he may not play a lot, just giving you guys a head. That would help us make an informed decision on whether or not, we do want to, spend all the money and the time. I think that would be helpful.
Well, listen, to the extent that I know beforehand, I would be happy to do that. It's challenging just because I have, when you look at the 3 teams, that's, multiply that by 18, multiply that by at least 2 parents. We've got a lot of multi-family situations, not to get into any of that. But the bottom line is I'd be happy to talk to Bryson and maybe give him a little bit of a pep talk and try to explain things. And I will absolutely, you might have to be a little bit proactive in terms of asking me. I don't want to kind of promise and then not deliver, but so we can maybe be a little bit more kind of on the same page about these kinds of things. And then, I don't know if it would be helpful to you, but I will absolutely try in the future to, prioritize his playing time and see if we can make it up to him. Because I just, I don't want any of my players or any of my parents not feeling like this is the best place for them. So,
and I appreciate that, Coach. And I don't want to keep you any more, but no, let me just close by saying that he loves playing for you. He loves the kids. He's been with these kids since he was 6. And I just don't want to see, his depression come back from not playing, because, that's his happy place, is being on that field, playing with his friends. And if we, and if there needs to be a switch to a different team where he's being featured, then, we may have to make that choice. And I'm sure you'll understand that.
Well, not to cut you off, and it's not lost on me that you mentioned his depression. I'd like to talk about that at some point. I don't have time for that right now, because my wife just put the Hot Pockets on the table. But I do think we might want to think for next season about dropping Bryson down to the B team. He'd get a lot more playing time. Mm-hmm. Coach MacGyver is great. He's a great developer of talent. I try to make those trainings as much as possible. We're even considering, and I wouldn't want you to take this as gospel, but the club is actually considering, a mechanism where some of the players can move up and down. So we might want to just consider that. That might be, kind of the best thing for Bryson. So I'm not sure if that would be of interest to you. I know.
I'll know. Coach, not to cut you off, but if I mention that he's being demoted to the B team,
it's not a demotion. I wouldn't call it a demotion. We have a lot of our best kids are actually we drop. Well, not drop, but you know what I mean. We will put them down. But not like put them down like an animal, but we will.
But Coach, these are the his friends that he's grown up with are on this team, and he really does feel and believe he belongs on your team, the top team. He was starting for you, and I don't know what's happened and what you've seen happen. We don't go to a lot of the trainings.
Well, we're not allowing parents at the trainings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're welcome to be in the car. To be in the car outside of the trainings.
But yeah, I think dropping him to the B team, I think that's a confidence killer, Coach. You know it. I know it.
Why don't we save the B team conversation for another time? I just wanted to put it out there. It's not that I haven't made my mind up yet. There's been some talk of it. Some of the coaches have been talking about it, and that's just something.
Are you thinking of any other players? Like what other players?
I don't want to talk about. I really wouldn't want to talk about some of the other players. I think maybe Billy, but I don't know for sure.
Coach Billy for sure. I mean, he's nowhere near Bryson's level. I mean,
well, I think they both, in their own way, could maybe benefit from being dropped down, or not dropped, but. How would you say it?
I don't think that's. I mean,
the last thing I would want you to do is to take this as any kind of a threat, like a kind of like a be happy where you are, things could be worse kind of a shot, because that wasn't my intention at all.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. I didn't see that one coming. I mean.
Yeah, I'm gonna be right there, hon. Sorry, the pockets are. So can we maybe like let this marinate a little bit, and then let's have a chat. Maybe we're going to do player evals in 5 months. We've got the player evals. So I'm going to be sending those out, and I think that would be a good time for us to maybe trade texts.
Okay.
Great.
All right. Listen, thanks for your time, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Phil?
Yep.
Sorry, Phil. Thank you.
Phil. It's Phil. Phil.
Yeah. No, I got it. Got it. Okay. Hey, thanks for calling. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks, Coach.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Take care. Bye. Okay. That was good. Okay. Do you want to wrap it up?
A lot of juice in that one.
Yeah. It's good.
Wow. So much here.
All right. That was good. You were great.
So were you, man. So were you, really.
No, you were good.
It's kind of cathartic.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
This may save my marriage.
So those were the scenarios. I felt good about it.
I think we should let Sister Sharon maybe walk us through a debrief.
Yeah, Sharon, you were awfully quiet through all of that.
Yeah, I don't, honestly, guys, I'm not even sure what to make of what just happened. You both seem to really enjoy each other's company and, think each other very funny. That's clear. Can I just clarify a few things to, try to make this useful? Would that be
Please.
Okay? Or
Okay. Go for it. That's why you're here.
So, what I'm wondering is, you guys have been coaches. What are you advocating that the parent do in this situation? What do you think is the most successful approach for the parent? You mentioned, marital conflicts, hot pockets. I don't know where to begin.
Well, I thought the hot pockets thing was pretty good.
Here's what occurred to me as we were doing it. And I think this is the reality is that these are actually very complicated conversations to have. It's a balancing act to present your case and not to create unnecessary conflict with the person that is coaching your kids, right? You don't want to do unintended harm. So you're trying to be honest and express frustration. You're trying to get a positive outcome. And at the same time, you're threading this needle where you're also wanting to preserve the relationship. And I think as we were going through the exercise, it just occurred to me that there's so many things to think about.
What are some questions, though, that could even out this power dynamic? Or what are some go-to, as former coaches or as former parents, you guys have been on both sides. What are some of the good generative questions that bring people together?
So I think what we should do is we should suggest some real solutions to this problem.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think Sister Sharon's probably right. I think we need to clean this end part up to where we can offer some valuable solutions.
I'll tell you what, I have an idea. The role-playing was super fun. I'm not sure whether it was super valuable for people. So I think what we ought to do is maybe do a bit of a lightning round where we provide the listener with some practical guidance about how they might handle this particular situation. You and I go back and forth providing what we think would be nuggets of useful information about how to deal with a situation where you're, needing or deciding to talk to the coach about a playing time issue. Basically, a follow-on to the role-playing.
Okay, I'm down for that.
We should rate what we say. When you go, I'll say good or bad. When I go, you say good or bad.
This is funny because you don't want to do your 1 to 10, which is what you mentioned earlier, which you were really super proud of.
No, I would much prefer to do 1 through 10. To tell you the truth,
I think just good or bad is.
You do good or bad on mine. I'll do 1 through 10 on yours.
No. Let's just do good. Let's just do good or bad. Good or bad. Simple.
Some of these are not going to be binary. They won't be good or bad. Some of them will be great, and some of them will be yeah, maybe, and some of them are going to be outright bad.
No, I actually want to do 1 to 10 now. You talked me into it.
1 through 10. Yeah,
all right,
1 through 10. 1 through 10.
Okay.
1 through 10. And that way the listener can make a judgment. If it's a 9 or a 10, we strongly recommend this as a practical, pragmatic thing to think about or do. And if it's a low number, they don't do it.
Yeah, I already have 2 or 3 what I would perceive to be 9s and 10s.
Really?
Yep, already.
Okay.
Just
all right. Well, then let's start. You go first.
Just to be clear, this is in response to having a playing time situation with a coach, right?
Yeah. Advice, solutions, coaching, things to think about.
Okay, so
Can we just get into it, please?
Yeah. My first one, okay, are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Just get some private coaching and work on the things that you need to work on that will enable you to be on the field more.
Okay. What you're suggesting is take some responsibility for development, go outside the club environment and just try to improve to the point where you hope that things take care of themselves.
Show some initiative. Ask the coach what he thinks that you need to work on, right? How do you get more minutes and put in the extra time?
Whoa. Now, but you've added something into it, which is asking for input on what to work on.
You're right.
All right. So it's a double solution. Earnestly ask what the player should be working on, and then go find a way to improve that or those things outside of the club environment.
Yep. That's fine. Okay, 1 to 10. 1 to 10.
I'm going to give the combination of the two.
This has got to be a 9 at least.
A 9.
Go. Yep.
Combination of the two is a 9.
Yep.
I wasn't sure. Like, if you don't ask what they should work on first, I would have given you a much lower number because you're just shooting in the dark. But
okay.
I like that.
Yep.
Okay.
You go.
Oh! I'm just going to add. I'm going to add something to that. Okay. So everything you said, ask what to work on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I suggest framing it in the following way: like, hey, listen, I know Bryson isn't getting a lot of playing time. I'd love to have some idea of what kinds of things we should work on to, improve him as a player. What are the 1 or 2 things that would be most important for you as a coach to see in Bryson? More of, less of, et cetera. So I would frame it that way. And then here's the thing. Then I would ask the coach if he or she
recommend
private.
Yeah. Yeah. Does private himself.
Private lessons.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
Okay. And I would see.
That's a 10.
Hold on.
This is a 10. This is a 10.
Oh my God.
This is a 10. Right. Get the coach to hopefully train your kid, which is like real investment. This is a 10. This is a 10 solution.
Just know this can be a little bit delicate because some clubs won't let the coaches do this. Right. And other clubs will, and then some coaches will do it even though they shouldn't. But if you can get the coach working with your child. Now listen, this involves what some people might think is a bit of a bribe.
I'm fine with that.
Right. Okay. So that's a 10. All right.
Yep.
Cool.
I think that outside private coaching, when you're already paying for coaching and committing so much time, is a really tough pill to swallow. And I think that it's shocking when you realize that so many of the kids are pursuing outside private coaching. It's almost this unspoken thing that you're supposed to do without being explicitly told at the beginning.
Yeah, but it is something that has become reality, I think. So,
well,
just get on board.
Sure.
You got to get on board.
I'm not denying reality. But it should be clear. People should say, as part of this commitment to this travel team or this club team, most of the players have private coaches. And listen, I think there's a financial component, but mostly there's a time component. I mean, when do you add that to your kid's already full schedule? So I don't know. I think it would be a lot better.
We're not assessing the practicality of our suggestions, Although I think that does play into maybe the rating. But I just think in terms of the necessity of this, I do agree with Brother Jared that it's a necessary that every kid in club soccer should also have a private coach. Well, that this is especially like if your kid isn't doing extra stuff and he's not like playing. My point is just that I think that should be advertised on the tin. Like that's how this world works. I don't like, it feels shady to like be the unknowing parent that's like, oh my God, I'm going to spend all my money and all my time on this big thing and little Johnny is going to be so happy. And then you get in and you're like, wait a minute, what's happening? Listen, Sister Sharon, it's a little bit like forking out a huge amount of money for private school, okay? And then the private school tells you, oh, by the way, you're going to have to spend a ton of money on tutors. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's why they don't. It doesn't feel good. It does not feel good, but it's the truth. And that's the hidden secret, right? Which is at private school, most of the parents are probably forking out all kinds of money for additional prep and tutors. So it's not pretty, but it's real. My opinion on this is I think it's great to ask the coach what the kid needs to work on. I think it's even better if, depending on the age of the kid, if the kid can be empowered to have that direct conversation. Sometimes it's weird when the parent is in the middle. If the coach is offering private training, which many of these coaches are, that's actually how they make money. I think it's a service that needs to be available
to any kid on the team. So I feel okay about it as long as everybody knows that it's going on. And I've been in club environments where the club forbade outside private coaching. And they said that if your kid is working with an outside private coach that's not part of the club, the kid would be penalized.
That's interesting. Yeah. That's a whole new level.
Yeah. But I don't know if that also forbade private coaching from the club coaches. I actually never figured that part out.
Right.
But they were purists about their methodology, and they didn't want an outside coach muddling with that methodology.
It's still a little unseemly, though. Like, I mean, if it's above board, I guess, but the idea that there's either pressure or even the opportunity to pay the coach that is you're kind of already paying. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's just like paying, again, with the private school, it's like paying your teacher to do extra work with you.
Well,
I don't know. It just means that people who don't have the money. Yeah.
Interestingly, I've had that experience too. I've had a private school recommend tutors that are also staff members of the school. So,
interesting.
I mean, I think that, listen, the way I've seen it play out, I've seen the team coach do privates with the pushy parents who were asking, sometimes for the kids who were on the bench, who didn't get much playing time. And frankly, I saw the integrity of that coach hold up, where, you know, he didn't play the kids that he gave private lessons to because they still weren't good enough to play.
Oh, that's interesting. That's okay. Yeah. So,
I mean, I think it can work. It would just be so much better if it was all above board.
Yeah.
And,
you
know, maybe that's the role of, like, the parent manager or whoever to tell the other parents, the new parents of the team, like, hey, this is how our team works. Like, you know, Coach Jared does private lessons, and if you want to work on specific things, you can reach out to him directly and pay him a lot of money. That's actually how he makes his money, because the club doesn't pay him very much. Like, that's cool.
I just want to make sure that I'm getting credit for the 10 for this one, and we're not splitting the points or anything like this.
I'm gonna split the points, but I got the 10, you got the 9.
No. This was part of my. No way.
The asking of the coach is the most important. Yeah, that is a game changer.
You added to my solution.
Bullshit.
Without my.
Add to it. I added to it, and you agreed that it got to a 10.
Yeah, but it's my 10.
Whatever. All right, your turn, because you got 9, I got 10. So back to you.
No, that was my 10. Go ahead. It's me again?
Yeah, I got the 10. You got the 9. Go.
I got one. This may be a little harsh, but just quit. Just stop playing.
Wow. Like really quit, not threaten to quit, really quit.
If you're not good enough to get on the field, just quit.
Ooh. All right, I'm going to give that.
Take that.
Yeah, that's low. That's going to be low. I mean, it's not. I don't think most people are going to be very psyched about that piece of advice. I will give it a 3.
I didn't really mean that, but I just want to see
that's funny, though.
what we're dealing with.
Good.
Did you just say quit the team as a scenario? I mean,
yeah, I did.
No, I hate this option. I hate it. I think no matter how bad it is, no matter how hard your kid is riding the bench, if you made a commitment to that club, you have to see the commitment through, and your kid has to learn the lesson of how to ride the bench. I mean,
even if it's totally unfair, even if it's a toxic, completely unfair situation, and you have a better opportunity somewhere else.
No, if there's toxicity, or if there's abuse, or if there's some real bright line that's been crossed, pull your kid out, obviously. But I think just the importance of, team building, making a commitment. It's the seasons are only 3 months. I'm not talking about the whole year. I'm talking about spring season or fall season.
I think generally speaking, Jared, nobody thinks that your idea is good.
I didn't think it was good either. Just FYI.
No, I think you were serious about it, and now you're pretending that you thought it was.
But the idea. No, but you're right. The global topic of when do you quit, when do you stay, is a really rich one.
What I want to make sure of is that parents are able to think about leaving and quitting in a healthier way. Because I think a lot of times kids suffer needlessly for a very long period of time at the hands of a coach that doesn't really value them. And I think the most important thing is that you find a home, a soccer home, where you are loved And I know that sounds kind of cheesy, but that's really what you're looking for.
Yep, I agree.
Okay.
So we're done with this. We're good? All right.
My turn. Well, since you came up with that one, I will go with trying to identify the barriers to why you're not playing, but specifically what players are playing in front of you, right? Teams and coaches have something called a depth chart. They usually are looking at players by position, and they will have a top choice, a second choice, sometimes a third choice. Does that make sense? So if you're playing like the 9, Johnny may be first choice, and Mike may be second choice, and Bryson may be third choice or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So you need to identify the players that are playing in front of you, and then you need to find some way to take them out. I'm not advocating
What do you mean take them out? It's like to take them out to dinner?
Listen, I'll give some options, but I want everybody to be super clear that we are not advocating or supporting any kind of violence, okay? But we do support creativity. So I would say, for example, you invite Johnny and Mike and the families, over to the house, and maybe they get served something that isn't, just before a game, they get served something that maybe doesn't agree with them, for example, so they can't play the next day.
You're talking about poisoning the players.
I never would ever.
It sure sounds like.
No, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Let me give you another example. Or you offer to take them to the game and you get lost. You can't make it to the game, or you can't get there early enough, right? Honest mistake, navigation goes south, run out of gas.
So you're just going to take Johnny and Mike without your son?
I don't like how you're positioning it, so I'm not going to say anything more. Just give me a rating.
Okay. Yeah. That's a 2. That's absolutely stupid.
Aside from the cruelty and the illegality of it, what would you say in terms of pure effectiveness, though?
9.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I do like it in terms of effectiveness.
Besides poisoning and kidnapping, put that aside for a second. What is this whole depth chart? Is that really how this works?
I think it is. I can't say that every coach is doing it. Certainly at the highest levels, when professional teams are being formed and assessed, there's a depth chart, and I think that that's probably the way most club coaches, because of the trickle-down effect, are probably thinking about it. So, yeah, again, not advocating any of the illegalities, but there probably are kids who are playing in front of your kid if your kid's not playing, and that's the whole depth chart thing. We can talk about that in the future.
But Sharon, if you were to poison, what kind of poison would you do?
Right. You have a go-to?
I think Chipotle.
Oh.
Well, they're out.
There goes our sponsor.
They're out as a sponsor.
I'd serve Chipotle at the team dinner.
Any other restaurants that you want to mention that we can eliminate from the future possibility of any kind of a
No, Chipotle
sponsorship?
is perfect because kids love it and it's absolutely filthy. So.
Oh, I like the guacamole
Wow.
at Chipotle.
Yeah, I like the guac too.
Yeah. I'm going to try to offer a real solution. Change the optics, meaning I want Bryson to now show up early before training and stay after, right? I want the coach to pull up to training, and I want Bryson to be there before anybody. So the optics are so good that he's showing the coach that he wants to be on the field more. He's willing to do whatever he has to do to make sure he gets more time.
I get it. This is like a marketing campaign in some way, except that you really want the kid to be working harder. You just want to make it more visible so that the coach sees. Kid. All right, I like it. I actually like it. I think that there's something here. The problem is we're kind of relying on this being a meritocracy and that it's going to make a difference, and the coach is changing the coach's mind. I'll give it a 6.5. 6.5.
You're crazy. You are crazy.
4?
Yeah.
4?
That's an 8 at least. Smart and easy, super doable.
Right. But no, you're right. I just wanted to clarify that I like it as a matter of professionalism. I'm not convinced it will be that effective.
I think it is so great only if your kid really wants to do it and you're not forcing your kid to do it. But if your kid wants to be that player that shows up early and stays late and high fives the coach and juggles to impress them or whatever, fabulous. That's great.
It's brown nosing.
Not if your kid wants to do it. Sometimes you have a kid that wants to be there early and wants to leave late. I mean, I know some of those kids.
Bryson doesn't.
I don't think Bryson is one, but I've met those kids, and you might as well. Sure, coaches love it.
You're right.
This is a straight talk approach. Maybe your child is not good enough to start, and this is a way out of the box idea. maybe the coach is right. Like there are going to be some examples on the margin where the coach is right, that your child is not good enough to get a ton of game time.
Yeah, and
I mean, hold on. If you can get to the truth, if you've got 24 kids on a team and you rank order them, I mean, the reality is some of them will be less good than others. That's just the reality. So somebody's kid, right, is not going to be all that good on this team. Somebody has to acknowledge that this is, the reality of things. And then I think there are all kinds of things you can do. And I'm not going to get into those because that's kind of what we're talking about, right? I mean, you could quit, you could do extra training, there's all kinds of things you could do to try to improve. But what I'm saying is a first step is really be ruthless and think about where your child truly is. And that's a hard thing. It's a hard thing for parents because we all want to believe that our child is great. And of course, we can love them, but they may not be great footballers. So,
so this isn't really a solution. This is more of
a mindset. And it could be a solution. I mean, think about cognitive dissonance, which is if your starting place is my child is being mistreated, like it's unfair. Like if you're starting from that psychological place, that's a big burden. If you're coming from a place where you're like, well, listen, like this is kind of fair, you can maybe the acknowledgement of that sets you up to do all kinds of things. So I wouldn't minimize this. So just go give us the rating.
It's a weird one for me. So I'm going to say a 5.
What? Yeah, you said 5?
Yeah, it's a 5 because I think.
Fine. I'll accept the 5, but it's totally wrong, and I'm going to misjudge one of yours.
I think just accepting that your kid might be on the bench and that's his or her role as a bench player / grabber of the water bottles / whatever role they're playing, a practice player. I think that's great. I think that's a great, honest way to approach things. And I've actually seen this. I've seen kids who are in it for the fun and the social dynamics, and they love to go and travel and stay in hotel rooms and go in the pool, and they're not worried about the fact that they never play. They're just there to be part of the fabric of the team. I think it can be hard for the parent sometimes to accept that.
Well, I was going to say, those parents will not be listening to this. Those are not. Yeah. Any parent that's okay with that is not listening to this.
I've seen the kids really embrace it, and it's pretty great because it's honest.
Yeah, good.
Okay, I've got one. Find other places to get minutes. Okay, if you're not getting enough minutes in your current club situation, you've got to find other ways, outside the box ways, to get minutes on the field in your position. This could be everything from joining a different league that doesn't compete in the same division as your current league. This could mean finding pretty decent level pickup games to jump into. This could even mean like jumping into an AYSO, right? As crazy as it sounds, play AYSO 2 years up just to get minutes, right? Work on some stuff, get your reps in.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's good. I think you should be doing that anyway. I think it gives you additional perspective. It helps with development. You got to be careful about overtraining sometimes, but I'll give it an 8.
It's a 10. It's a 10.
Not a 10. It's an 8.
In an ideal world that isn't governed by the clock or the schedule, that would be super fun to get as much playing opportunities as possible, as many playing opportunities as possible. Like, that's great. Pragmatically, though, I struggle to see, again, like how you could fit that in to the challenging schedule. The other thing is we've also been warned by clubs about even guest playing for other teams. We've been warned about overuse. But I guess if your kid is a bench player, maybe they wouldn't care so much.
Sharon, she constantly is referencing back to like logistics,
the schedule,
convenience,
like as if that's any kind of a consideration for this.
Right.
Finances,
right.
Convenience. I don't know why those are still things that you think about.
I know. and the two soccer dads, it didn't even cross your mind.
No, we don't think about that at all.
No, usually we just do it.
Right. Well,
fascinating.
Or my wife does.
All right, you're up.
Okay. In keeping with my long-winded answers and my deep psychological knowledge, I'm going to offer this up as a kind of a complex response to how to approach the coach, because I think we could do a better job with this. Number one, don't be the parent that thinks that your kid is so good. Try to align yourself with the coach. Obviously, something's not going right if your kid isn't getting playing time, and your job is to try to identify what that is. So anything you can do to say, hey, listen, anything, any light you can shed on, what would help Bryson's chances of playing a bit more, or more generally, what he could do to just improve, that would be really great, because we would love to try to do some things that would be helpful to him. So like that kind of a attitude, I think will be rewarded. Also, calibrating questions. We try to do this like 1 through 10. Hey, so if there are 2 things that Bryson could work on, what would those 2 things be? Let's just say one of them is aggression. You get kind of a generic answer, like, I just need to be more aggressive. It's useful because these are stressful conversations not to panic and say, okay, and then hang the phone up, because you don't know what aggression means, okay? What does that mean? Does it mean doesn't go in for 50-50s, doesn't go up for headers, shies away from certain, actions on the field? Like, you really need to dig. And you have to say, well, what would you be seeing more of or less of that would give you an indication that Bryson was improving on his aggression? That's really important. And then you can also ask that calibrated question, 1 through 10. All right, 1 through 10, how big a deal is this aggression thing, coach? And that forces the coach to say, like, it's a 4, in which case you're like, well, is that the thing that's keeping him from playing more? Or it might say a 9, in which case you have your answer. So those are a few little tips about how to navigate that conversation. And just be careful that you're not one of those parents who's, talking more than you're listening.
Well, that answer is good. It put me to sleep, but it was good. I give it a 7.5.
God, really?
Yep.
That's probably the most practical thing that they're going to hear. But all right, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. You'd rather take them out, bribe the coach,
quit, poisoning, or quitting.
What else?
Okay. As you were talking, I wasn't really listening to yours because I was thinking about my future answer. I do have a good one.
Future partner. Future brother.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
I think you go above the coach and you speak to the DOC, the director of coaching, and you complain. You're like, listen.
Basically, the coach's boss.
Yep. You go to the coach's boss. Listen, like, I don't understand. There's a playing time situation here, and I certainly don't want to get involved with a head-to-head with the coach. We're paying you $6,000 a season to develop my kid, and this is where you kind of earn a little bit of your money. So go fix it. 10.
This is tricky for me.
10.
No, this is for sure not a 10. First of all, before I give you the rating, this is a very high stakes decision. Yep. I would say this is not something you do first or even second and maybe even third. I think you exhaust.
I know. I don't know this.
I know you know that, but the listener may not. Exhaust some of the other things, and if you can't get any headway, I do think there is a place for escalating and having conversation with the director of coaching. My suggestion is that if you do it transparently. You don't go behind the coach's back. You got to remember, these people, they are the ones that have the stronger relationship. Like, the director of coaching might make you think that you're tight with them. Trust me, the director of coaching is tighter with the coach of your child, and they will back channel. So just do it above board. Say, hey, do you think the 3 of us could get in a room and just chat about this and do it the right way? I will give you a 6. 6.
All right.
Okay. There are times when...
Wait. I've got one more. I totally forgot. Right? Maybe your kid just isn't giving the effort to get playing time, right? And you've got to do something to encourage the effort or have the player suffer some consequences, like at home, like pulling away video games. Yeah, pull the video games away, take them off social media, make it crystal clear that, like, if you want more minutes on the field, then you need to really start figuring out ways to show the coach that you're more interested.
All right, so basically you're advocating a kind of punishment to motivate the player.
Yeah, I'm not advocating it. I'm just...
Well, you're putting it out there.
Yeah, I'm putting it out there.
Here's what I'd say.
I don't think this really worked very well. But
I think this is one of the first things that most parents will do.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to bring it up.
Right, okay. So I would say it's very common. I don't think it works that well. I think, depending on the personality of your child, I think maybe you can get some bang for your buck, but I'm not a massive advocate of these things. But you can also try the opposite, right? You can try to reward them for doing things, which I prefer, but that also is tricky. Basically, I think that there's something there, but not very interesting. I'll give it a 6.
10.
Yeah, every one of yours is a 10.
I feel much better about the end of this now because I do think that we have offered a few legit suggestions on how to problem solve this.
All right, great.
I think the lightning round is a great idea. I think we should do it every time that we make a podcast, if we ever make another one. It's great.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Yep, see you next time. Wait, you there?
Yep, still here.
We need we don't have an exit hook or like a jingle.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, you know how like what are some famous exit? Like, until next time, Seattle, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? We don't have one.
Right. No, you're right. What would some options be?
See you on the pitch.
See you on the pitch. No. Let's throw a couple back and forth. Just real quick. Okay. Just no grading, no bad answers.
We'll kick it with you soon. No.
See ya.
That's terrible.
That really is terrible. That was terrible. How about this? See ya.
I like that. Do that again.
See ya.
Were you trying to say see ya? Or what was that?
I don't know. This is actually one that I use. I like it. Say ciao bye.
Ciao bye. Yeah.
It's both because it's like that's what I say. Like you're in Europe and then you're like everybody knows ciao, but then you also in America and you say bye. Ciao bye.
Ciao bye.
Ciao bye.
Peace out.
Don't hate it.
Okay.
How about
you just got soccer broed?
You've been soccer broed. It's better for any pranks.
Yeah. How about this one? This one's good. They're great.
Heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
How about we're great?
With the Tony the Tiger kind of thing?
Yeah.
We're great. Pretty
stupid.
Pretty cocky.
Very,
too.
Very cocky.
Yeah.
It's too cocky. How about something French? Like au revoir.
Let me try it out. Au revoir, Marc.
Au revoir, Jared. What do you think?
It's good. It's good.
All right, let's go. Let's just go with that for now. I think we'll be able to do better.
Okay.
Go. Till next time. See ya.
They're great.
Au revoir, Jared.
Au revoir, Marc.
Au revoir, Sharon.
Ciao, bye.
Ciao, bye.
Ciao, bye.
Ciao, bye.
The experience of a lifetime.
1-900. Featuring Sister Sharon.